The Unchanged You, instant enlightenment. So if you want to instantly be enlightened, I've got an exercise for you called The Unchanged You. And yes, absolutely, this is a little bit of clickbait. There's no such thing as instant enlightenment, but there is such a thing as being able to recognize that part of you which is the gateway into enlightenment. I hate that word. Into spiritual awakening, slightly better. Into finding your own spiritual badass. Yeah, that's a much better term. There is a gateway, and I can point that out to you, and I'm going to do that for you right now. So here it is, your the Unchanged You exercise, which will give you a glimpse of instant enlightenment, instant spiritual awakening, instant spiritual badassery. Okay, here we go. So let's start with 3 deep breaths. Inhale 1. Inhale 2. Inhale 3. The Unchanged You. Very simply, when you reflect upon your life, when you were 5 years old, 10 years old, 13 years old, 20 years old, go back decades, years, whatever, there's a part of you that you recognize is unchanged. Yes? There's an unchanged part of you, right? Like when you were 9, there was that part. When you were 10, there was that part. When you were 13, there was that part. That part's still here right now. It's this part that seemingly is behind the eyes. It's this consciousness or aware you that's, in the head region and is having this experience, right? It's this thing that if you feel into it, if you think about it, it really has gone unchanged your whole life. You've been the same, that same one doing this along for the ride. Most people say yes to that. So that's the Unchanged You. And stop, full stop. There you go. We're done. That part of you is your gateway into enlightenment. That part of you is the gateway into spiritual awakening. That part of you is the gateway into realizing a part of yourself that has heretofore been somewhat in the background, somewhat not noticed, somewhat undervalued, somewhat taken for granted. That part of you, this Unchanged You that's been with you your whole life, is indeed the doorway into connecting with your bigger spiritual badass part. Now, what do I mean by all this? Because I hate even the term spiritual badass, as cool as that is, right? I want to be more specific about this. It's just that part of you, that unchanged part of you, it's simply just awareness. It's just the aware you. It's very simple. You don't need to call it, that you realize your self-realization or enlightenment or any of that. It's just awareness. You've got it right now. You are aware of seeing this video of my hands moving, of my voice talking. You are aware of noticing awareness. You are aware of this unchanged part of you. So your goal then, now that you've noticed this part, which has been sitting way back here, right? And then here's the kind of ego personality you. Okay, your goal then, on your grand adventure road trip to become a spiritual badass, is to draw that awareness, that unchanged you, that part that's been the same, closer and closer and closer until this happens, until that part sort of is the predominant mode of your being. And then that personality ego part's back here, and and it kind of gets closer and shifts away, but it's no longer making drama and bullshit in your life. It's in the back seat and is less effective at that, and it's just used as a utensil to pay the bills and cross the street and drive the car. But what's really in charge is the aware you, this unchanged you. So it's really as simple as that. I hate to dash your dreams and hopes and long-term karmic reincarnation, 10,000 lifetimes cycle to get enlightenment. I hate to dash it, but it's really a lot simpler than that. It's just this unchanged you part. Take stock of that. Notice that. Think about this. Think about this. Let it sink in. That's really it. Start noticing that unchanged you, paying attention to it more, and you will benefit greatly from it. It's not a gateway into perfection. Sorry for the interruption. It's a gateway just into finding a little bit more sanity in your life, finding a little more happiness in your life, finding a little more awareness and depth, and a bigger container. You become this bigger container, can hold things, can respond to things, and can enjoy life better. The Unchanged You exercise. Really simple. I hope this has benefited you, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.